Jarrett Jacques, obviously. Here at Mizzou, new position, in more of a coaching role, recruiting role, is that correct, right?
Recruiting coordinator, yep.
Recruiting coordinator. How's that going for you, starting out, and just catch us up? How have you been?
It's good. It's fun. I get to come in the room and, watch guys train. I get to travel with the team and, help guys out, and then help out our coaching staff too. Do a lot of work with our D-op, Keenan Haggerty. So that dude, he's a rock star. So I can kind of help get some stuff off his plate and make his job easier. So then he's doing all the more important stuff, and I'm able to kind of be in the background and help him out, let him do what he does for our team. So it's been a lot of fun.
As an athlete, you've had a pretty busy summer. I mean, senior national team, like right there,
Yep.
and taking fourth at the Olympic trials and, wrestling at the senior world team trials. Talk about your summer as an athlete.
Summer was, it was good. I ran a lot of camps and stuff like that, which is really fun for me. I like doing that, just being able to, one, I got to give back to the youth, and then two, I got to kind of polish up my coaching skills and learn what works, what doesn't work, how to teach better. I think that stuff's all fun. And kind of learning through that. And then, towards the end of July, August, started, I was kind of watching my weight, get my weight down for trials because was going down to 70 kilos. So, had to focus on a lot of, dieting and stuff like that. And then training. I probably focused a little bit too much on the dieting and weight cutting part and not enough on the training. But now I'm able to kind of turn around. I got a little break, don't have to make weight for a little while, and then focusing on the training and having fun, and then, going back and focusing on what I need to improve on the mat, whether that's mental, physical, whatever, and then what I need to fix dieting-wise so I don't focus so much on the weight cut that I'm only focused on that. Being able to focus on the wrestling part and the diet is super important to me. So just kind of learning process has been, I won't say necessarily fun, because losing's not fun, but it's been good, just being able to learn. And on top of that, I get I'm in a role at a college that has guys cutting weight, and so I get to help guys and kind of talk them through my process, my mistakes, what worked for me, what didn't work, and go from there.
Talk about you. Before talking about you in this role that you are in, talk about the Bill Farrell. You were there.
Yeah.
How did you feel like you wrestled at that tournament?
So like I said, I focused so much on that weight cut for trials that I wasn't, coming in. My goal every day was to lose X amount of pounds versus learn and have fun and grow. And so I was coming in. I was working super hard, but I was just, I was kind of putting in the learning on the back burner. And then so when I went to trials, I felt great. Physically, I felt really good, but there was a lot of bad habits that I picked up, a lot of mistakes I made, which is good. And it's not a bad thing. Making mistakes is never a bad thing in wrestling. It means you're wrestling. So it wasn't mental mistakes, which I'm super pumped about because I've had a lot of, I've made a lot of mental errors throughout my college career, and so I'm working on those, which is awesome. So going into the Farrell, though, I was just focusing on having fun and practice, getting back in, learning, and then didn't necessarily cut my weight correctly then, so I was too much balance the other way, which is I would rather have it that way than wrestle and make a lot of mistakes. I had a lot of fun in the practice room. Just didn't focus quite enough on the weight cut, even though we got those 2 kilos. I kind of took that for granted. And so physically I didn't feel necessarily as good at Farrell, but that's not really an excuse. I'm not going to feel perfect all the time. I got to find a way to wrestle and find a way to gut out those matches, even though I may feel like crap. But yeah, towards the end, the last couple matches I had there, I feel like I wrestled. My first 2 matches I didn't obviously perform super well. I got to wrestle Colin Rath. He'll be in the room next year, which will be freaking awesome. The kid's an animal. And then I wrestled Will Luan in neither one of those matches. Well, the Luan match was pretty quick, so I didn't really get a chance to feel bad, but I wasn't feeling super great. I was just kind of feeling sorry for myself because I was tired or whatever. And then the last two matches, I kind of found a way to feel a little better. We had a big break in between my third place match. Even though I lost that match, I feel like I wrestled really well. I got to the guy's legs. I wrestled Andonian. Dude is really good with his defense. I got to his legs a lot, but he scored with my attacks. So, which is fun though, because now I get to come back in the practice room and figure out how to score on people, and I get to learn, and that's a lot of fun. So, I'm excited.
Talk about your new role and exactly being in that coaching role, that mentor role.
Yeah.
How fun is that and the different side of
It's fun, and it's also frustrating. Like I was always, you can ask any of the coaches. Coach Maple was my individual coach. Him and Dom probably know the most. And I was very stubborn, still fairly stubborn, and very stuck of like, oh, that doesn't work for me and stuff like that. And so towards my last year into college, I started kind of getting out of that a little bit. And then now that I'm on the other side of it, I see how frustrated they had to have been at me. And I tell them all the time, like, I don't know how you guys didn't beat me up and just like smack me around, because the way I wrestled in college was really frustrating. Had to have been so frustrating to watch. So it's a lot of fun in the sense like I get to learn like how to coach, how to be better at that. I get to help guys out. I get to show them again my mistakes that I made. Hey, here's what works for me currently. Here's what worked for me in college, and here's what did not work. And if I see them, it's kind of cool if I see them make a mistake that I made, especially if I made it later in my career. I can kind of chop it off and help them whenever they're young, which is super fun. So, yeah, and then I say frustrating. I don't actually mean super frustrating, because like I just see how talented these dudes are in the room, and then sometimes in competition I see the mental blocks, or you get nervous and stuff like that, and it's frustrating because I know how good they are, and I know the feeling they're going through of being nervous, being scared, and stuff like that, and so it sucks to see that happen to somebody who's so talented, and so the battle is helping them find their way out. Just like I had Maple, Keenan, Dom, Keegan, a bunch of Coach Smith, all these guys helping me out. Now I gotta get back to them. So it's a lot of fun, and a lot of it's just communicating, talking with them, listening to them, sharing my experiences, letting them know that the feelings they're having, the thoughts they're having are completely normal. It's not like you're on an island by yourself. Like a lot of people have these feelings, and so sharing my stuff with them, let them know that people are there for them.
What's the biggest piece of advice that you've given? It could be to an individual, or it could be to an entire group, like as a whole, or your philosophy. What's kind of the biggest piece?
Biggest piece. I think there's a couple. Like obviously for like competing and stuff, like your goal is, you watch guys like Aiden Sinclair, Keegan O'Toole, Noah Certain, these guys that just go out and kind of wrestle free, it seems like, and they wrestle really hard for 7 minutes. And so that would be like kind of like, hey, just go out and make mistakes. I heard it in a interview with Rutherford was talking about it, and he said the coaches would always tell him, go out and make mistakes. Because when you're making mistakes, it means you're wrestling. It means you're wrestling hard. It means you're going after it. You're attacking. If you're making mistakes of, I should have done this instead of this, that's fine. At least you did something. Walking off the mat and knowing that you didn't do enough is way more frustrating than walking off the mat and being like, dang, I got out-techniqued, whatever. That feeling of being, it's not necessarily fun either way, but I would rather, lose because I was attacking, because I was taking risks, rather than even taking a win, a 3-2 win or 4-2 win or whatever, and you did nothing. That to me is super frustrating. Walking off the mat knowing I could have done more. So I guess that would be kind of my big piece of advice, is just telling guys, hey, take the risk, make mistakes, and then also the other thing is communicate. Right? I talked about it a little bit already, but like You're not. These guys were not alone in these thoughts and these feelings of negativity, of doubt, whatever. Talk to somebody. Let people know, hey, I'm having these feelings right now, and then you got to get them out. I don't want to out him, but Keegan talked to me about one time he would write these feelings down. And so you have a negative thought, negative feeling, he'd write them down. And then you look at them on a piece of paper and be like, man, I've been wrestling for 15 years. Why am I worried about this? This is silly. And then it would kind of, program him a little bit, and he'd be able to redirect, and then there he is. Now he's ready to go. And so get it out. Get those feelings, get those thoughts out. Let people know. Let people help you. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I would say those are the big two pieces of advice I have.
Finally, how excited are you for the rest of the college season? Mizzou has had a tough stretch to start out, but now, going into the rest of the season, how excited are you?
Yeah, I'm excited for the guys. I think we've had a couple guys out. Rocky and Noah. Those guys should be coming back here pretty soon, so I'm excited for them. Excited for the team. When I think about our team, it's like we have these guys that, again, I know how talented they are in the room, and so it's a process to get that to come out in a competition. And so I think if we can get that to click for them, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for tournaments and stuff for us because I think we have a pretty solid tournament team. We have some pretty big studs that can put up a lot of points. And then the other guys, I think they're more than capable of doing the same thing. We just got to, kind of keep being there for them and lifting them up, helping them out, helping them learn, helping them grow physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything. Doing everything we can for them. And so at the end of the year, I think we can be where we want to be as a team. And, I'm not super concerned with us right now. Like I said, we've had a couple guys out. And I think we're going to be able to hopefully get back on track and keep learning, keep having fun, and start beating some people up, hopefully.